And clap sync. Hello world, this is Drusen. I am coming to you live, except not, because I'm recording it now and I'll edit it and post it later. So I received something in the mail this morning. This is what I got. It is the new D&D book that just came out. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too. Let's go ahead and open it up. Have my little knife here. Make sure I cut away from me. Or right there where it says pull tab to open. Let's try that. That was easier. Alright, here we go. Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes is the new D&D book. This tome is built on the writings of the renowned wizard from the world of Greyhawk, gathered over a lifetime of research and scholarship. In his travels to other worlds and other planes of existence, he has made many friends and has risked his life an equal number of times to amass the knowledge contained herein. The first 5 chapters present material for a dungeon master to add depth to a campaign that involves the characters in one or more of the ongoing conflicts described there. Options for players are provided as well, including new character races. That is what I'm excited about. I want to read about the new races. I'm sure there's going to be awesome stuff for DMing as well. Alright, first off, in the table of contents, I don't know if you can see that. There's information about some different settings and specific races. There's a whole section about the different cultures of the elves, dwarves, and Gith. Gith are exciting. And halflings and gnomes. Gnomes are one of my favorite races in D&D. Then below that, there's monster stat blocks. So a whole bunch of new monsters in here that we are going to look at and see what ones are new and exciting. I'm going to skip through the lore stuff at the beginning because I like to create my own worlds, so I don't usually use a lot of this stuff. Right off the bat, it looks like there's 7 new tiefling subraces. Just tells you what the ability score increase is, and then the spells that they know as a race. They get a cantrip, a 3rd level, and a 5th level spell, or they learn spells at those levels. It looks like those are different for the different subraces based on where they come from. Here is a picture of 2 different types of tieflings. Okay, this is awesome. Under the elves section, they have new elf subraces, and I've played an Eladrin before, which an Eladrin is essentially an elf from the Feywild. You have Eladrin of the 4 different seasons, so there is an Eladrin of Autumn. Eladrin have the ability to use, so they changed it to Fey Step instead of just the spell Misty Step. So it's essentially a Misty Step. However, at 3rd level, depending on which season you chose, it has a different effect. This is really cool. After you do the Fey Step, for the autumn and winter ones, you have to do a Fey Step, and then creatures nearby have to make a saving throw or be charmed or frightened. Autumn is charmed, winter is frightened. Spring is my favorite. This sounds awesome. You can touch a willing creature and teleport them instead of you, which is awesome. The ability to teleport other people, that's so overpowered. It's still only 30 feet, but that's amazing. The summer Eladrin does Fey Step and then deals fire damage to enemies around it. That's also awesome. I like Eladrin, and this just made them even cooler. The other options are Sea Elf. It has a picture of one here fighting a Sahagwin. They get a swim speed, and they can communicate simple ideas with any creatures that have an innate swim speed. And then there's the Shadar Kai. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. From the Shadowfell. They have resistance to necrotic damage, and as a bonus action, they can magically teleport. Then at 3rd level, when you teleport, you have resistance to all damage until the beginning of your next turn, which is pretty awesome. Under the dwarves section, they have official stats for the Durgar, or Durger. They have the regular dwarf traits, and then they have superior dark vision, but they also have sunlight sensitivity. Now we come to the section about the Gith. Guy's flying, he's a Gith. I'm very interested to read this section, because Gith are fascinating. Yes, here we go. Playable Gith. I don't know if you can see all that. I'll read you some of the interesting stuff from it. Gith character traits. And they have the 2 sub-races of Gith Yankee and Gith Zerai. So all Gith get +1 intelligence. Then Gith Yankee get +2 strength. And Gith Zerai get +2 wisdom. Gith Yankee get proficiency with a skill or tool of their choice and can learn one language and get proficiency with some armor and weapons. Gith Zerai get advantage when saving throws against charm and frightened conditions. This is what's most interesting to me, is instead of innate spellcasting, they have psionics. I don't know if it goes into rules about how psionics work, how they're different from regular spells. It looks like they both can cast Mage Hand. The hand is invisible. Gith Yankee learn Jump at 3rd level and Misty Step at 5th level. The Gith Zerai get Shield at 3rd level, and at 5th level they get Detect Thoughts, which is very psionics Gith-y to have Detect Thoughts. So here's what I'm hopeful about. The fact that they've now added a playable race that have natural psionics, I want them to add the Scion class. Even if they just have the one class. When I played Pathfinder, I played as Kurzenket, a gnome Scion, but I also at one point played as Thraken, and he was a human, can't remember if they're called Soul Blade or Soul Knife. It was essentially a psionic rogue slash fighter. I think there was like a Scion warrior, so he wasn't quite a fighter, maybe ranger-ish. Basically summoned psionic blades, and he could customize what they looked like and do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, which was awesome. And so I really want psionic classes to be coming to D&D very soon, because they've added playable races that have psionics now. It looks like they don't have anything for halflings. They do have the Deep Gnome subrace for gnomes, which I believe is essentially the same as they have the Deep Gnome available in the Elemental Evil PDF that they came out with a while ago. They might have changed it slightly, but it looks pretty much the same to me. They have superior dark vision, and they can blend in with stone. Alright, now we come to the bestiary. That thing is creepy, whatever it is. I mean, it's awesome, but it's creepy. So I'm looking through the monsters now, just trying to find ones that are interesting. This here, a choker, I believe we fought them back when we played our Pathfinder game. I think that was one of the first enemies that we fought. This one's a little different. I don't think I've ever seen this in one of the D&D books before. They have a full, like a 2-page picture with just a tiny little bit of text in the corner telling what the picture is. All right, that's pretty cool. There's New Drow. I guess that makes sense because they had a whole section earlier about elves and they talked about Drow in there. But the very first one is called the Drow Arachnomancer, which is just a cool name. And if you know about Drow lore, they're very into spiders. Oh, challenge rating 20. A Drow matron mother. That guy looks cool. It's a Durgar Stone Guard. I showed you earlier the Autumn Eladrin. They have stats for Eladrin NPCs, and here are the Spring, Summer, and Winter Eladrin. They look really cool. I like the whole different seasons thing. That's awesome. I turned the page, and it's Elder Elementals. The first two are the Leviathan, which is a gargantuan elemental, and a Phoenix, which is a gargantuan elemental. That's awesome. The next two, Elder Tempest and Zaratan, which is like a giant rock turtle, it looks like. Oh, and then they have more elementals. They're like warriors. That's awesome. Okay, so earlier, if you don't know much about D&D, earlier I was talking about the race Gith, G-I-T-H. Apparently, there's also a race that are humanoids that appear to be part hippo called a Gith, G-I-F-F. And here's a picture of one. That's awesome. I want that to be a race in my game. And they have pistols and muskets. Come on, that's awesome. They're mercenaries from space, of course. That makes sense. They're mercenaries from space. Here's some Gith Yankee, Supreme Commander, a Gish, and a Kithrak. Githzerai monks. That's not terrifying at all. It's a huge undead called a Nightwalker. This is a large construct that was built by the Drow, which I guess makes sense because it's spidery looking. It's called a Retriever. Does not look like the friendly type of dog. These are Shadar-kai, the elves from the Shadowfell. We have another full 2-page picture of lots of undead. Kind of looks like the original Pirates of the Caribbean. As if wraiths weren't scary enough, we have a sword wraith and a sword wraith commander. Yes! Turtles! And a turtle druid stat. Vampiric Mist. That is not one that I would want to fight. Alright guys, that is it for Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I'm gonna do more reading on that. Very excited to do it. Thanks for watching. Bye.